Hey, what's up, my little hunters? It's your boy Mikiri Yoshioto, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Amazing Spider-Man, the Amazing Ultimate Spider-Man, Venom, and Spider-Man himself. This Venom is the Matt Gargan form. I put this on because it's my custom Venom, basically, so he's a crime boss. I have no clue what this is from. I cut the sleeves off. If anyone wants to tell me what they think this is from or know it's from, go ahead and tell me. But yeah, let's get down to it. So right off the bat, here we have the Spider-Man figure, and I will say that for its age, this was an amazingly posable Spider-Man. Not so much now. Comparing this to something like the big time letdown, as Shadow Prime calls it, or the Monster Energy Spider, as I call it. It has ab crunches, butterfly joint. It's just way better. This is from like 2015, 2016. Here we go, inner thigh. 2012. This mold came out in 2012, and this spider came out in, it's probably on the bottom of his foot, 2008. So four years later, and the technology was astonishing. But then again, this was meant for 8-year-olds and below, and this was meant for like 12 and up. The collectors and people who want to do stop motion with them. But let's focus. So, head is on a ball joint. I have taken this head off so many times to do things like making this ghost spider before it was now known as spirit spider. And if you don't know what that is, that was basically a universe in which Spider-Man made a deal with Mephisto. Obviously, he's the main Ghost Rider villain, other than Blackheart. And yeah, for a time, Spider-Man had Ghost Rider's head and a really awesome looking suit. But head is on ball joint. That's as far as he can look up. He basically can't do anything more than look at you like that. He can look down, which looks pretty normal. Yeah. Shoulders are very stiff and prone to making you actually grab it by the bicep and then push. And I don't like that because it flexes the plastic, especially at the joint for the elbow. So you have to push on the bicep. If it'll focus. So that's as far as it'll go. Up, down. He's kind of perpetually stuck in this, like, sticking to a wall. He does come with a web. I don't know where it's at. I don't particularly care. Elbow articulation is sub 90 degree. Hand, yeah, this definitely shows its age, especially for 2021. Yeah, I realized that we basically just started. This is March, but for our figures have come a long way from this. And sorry, I forgot to show that his hand does rotate. Obviously, you saw that it pivots. Waist articulation is basically just a rotation. Joints are that funny, weird one where it sticks up into the, I guess you call it the crotch, the underwear section. Kick is, if you keep it straight, is less than parallel with the ground, even with the assistance of his spider booty allowing him to lean forward. Yeah, you get that. But then you run into the potential that if he kicks, he might fall backwards. You do get the 90 degree, which is kind of necessary for any and all poses. And then just a rocker. That's all you get. So for a 2008 figure, that is pretty good for Spidey. I really wish that, he was more articulatable, but this, again, was designed for, the younger side of Spider-Man fans, whereas the other Spider-Man was designed for the older, so it makes sense. Now on to, whoops, I'll mess with that in editing. Now to the Venom one, which honestly is not much better, but is better. So here we have the Venom Matt Gargan, and yes, it did say on the package that this was Matt Gargan, so this is basically Venomized Scorpion. So you get a scorpion tail, which is quite frankly the second best thing about this figure, in my opinion, because it is, well, we'll pull it out. You can pull it out and probably make another thing out of him. But yeah, the tail is taller than he is. And he has a hole in the back. You just stick this in him. Sorry, I had to make that joke. It's kind of required at this point. I haven't done it. Give me a break. So, yeah. One thing that I have to say right now, I wish that this Venom would not be so problematic, because there is a weird spring-loaded sting effect, and I don't know if it was intentional or not, but we'll take this off. You can pretty much bring Venom back, and then he springs slightly forward, and you can tell I'm literally just pushing back, and you can see that based on the white of the rest of the spider symbol, that when he stings, he throws himself forward. And that's a combination of the spring in him and his torso being so heavy. So, on to articulation, because, yeah, you see the aesthetics. Although I do love the addition of the red eye within the white part. And the tongue is amazingly detailed for a Venom tongue. And I love the vein. You know what? We'll do the aesthetics. There's veins and veins and muscles galore for this Venom. And I guess you call it the tail detail. Tail detail. Kind of reminds me of the Scorpion King, played by The Rock. You may be too young, or you might be old enough to understand that. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of when he was in The Mummy Returns. That very cool detailing. Tail is amazing. Love the Venom teeth. I absolutely love those teeth. And it works well for, a non-Eddie Brock Venom. And then look, okay, I'm sorry, but look at that vein and muscle detail. You cannot tell me that is not the best vein/muscle detail you've ever seen for a figure. And then the claws. I mean, look at those. Those look like they're ready to rip Peter Parker to shreds. And they are. Also, I love that there's a little bit of purple only on the tail. I have not encountered it. Oh, there's a little bit on the forearm. Yes, some on the... There's a little bit of purple, but primarily Venom is black, which I love. I'm not a fan of this effect. I get that, he's a symbiote and he's kind of shiny. I got my shiny right there. I don't need the purple effect. But moving on to articulation, his joint isn't necessarily stiffer, but it's a little harder to get moving. So there's all the way out. Arm can go all the way up, all the way back. Sadly, he only has a single jointed elbow, but, if you've ever tried to watch a bodybuilder bend their arm, they have a hard time bending it past 90 degrees. I do wish that there was a little black dot to signify that that's where the webbing came out, but that's more specific for Eddie Brock's Venom than Matt Gargan. So, hand can go all the way down, all the way back, and then rotation. Ab crunch pretty much non-existent. As soon as you have the tail, he likes to flop back. So, but you can get a rotation here, which, as you can see, does tend to drag the mid section along with it. Same thing as Focus. As Spidey, it has that peg in the underwear section. I love the muscle and the fact that he has a belly button. He actually has a belly button. You didn't see that with Spidey. Venom has a belly button. It's an inconsequential detail, but still. So we can get him to kick that far forward and this far back. Double jointed knee. No technical thigh rotation, but you get rotation at the connection point. And then foot just pivots back and forth. No rocking, but the reason I need to say this right now. Like I said at the beginning, this is not actually his, obviously. It's from this group right here. My phone will focus. So, if anyone can tell me, what this belonged to, that would be awesome. But, it's just an inconsequential thing. But the highlight of having these two is this. So, this is actually supposed to occur. Venom picks up Spidey, and it kind of makes me laugh that he's supporting his weight by holding his butt with his pinky. He is grabbing Peter by the ass and trying to get a little handsy with the butthole. Sorry, bad joke, but yeah. He can, hold on to him, bash his head in. The hand is kind of light, but, you wiggle Spidey enough and you can rotate it back. But yeah, you can literally bash your Spidey in with this Venom, and he is not likely to let go. And you had to make a liar out of me. Bad Venom. Bad Venom. But, this, again, is designed for 8-year-olds and above. A little bit more so below, because articulation. But, yeah, I definitely like these two. And given that it's a choice between that Venom figure and the collector's edition that is just all sorts of weird. He has this weird effect. I ripped out his tongue as a child. Yeah. Better Venom. More muscular and cooler. So that's it for the review, guys. Leave a comment if you want me to do different types of reviews for older toys. I try to do newer toys, but I don't really have anything recent to review other than my Gundams, and I don't feel like reviewing those. If you want me to review Gundams in the future, let me know in the comments. Please consider subscribing. It doesn't really help me. It does help with the algorithm, but I don't get that many views anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But thanks anyway. Until next time, my little hunters, you should stay awake. Bye.